can only fight hand to hand now, bitch.
Found the part. Ready to fix up that weapon?
I am always ready to fix up a weapon.
Never thought I'd be glad to see the inside of a Thunderjaw's mouth.
I sure am. Every machine's a big box of tools. Once they stop trying to kill you, that is. Trust me, Aloy. You won't recognize this ice rail when I'm through. There. Oh, she's perfect. A spear's a spear, right? Poke slash done. Boring. I adjusted the chill water flow, rebalanced here, strapped on a launcher, and now she shoots freezing spikes. Ta-da!
You weren't kidding.
Holy
More
fucking shit.
beautiful, more powerful. That's my guarantee.
You've done good work with the
Told you I was good. Anyway, I'm glad.
We'd better get moving.
Looking forward to that.
fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Yo, that's amazing. Miss me with that gay shit. Come on, people, stop calling my mom. Let my mom sleep, damn it.
Missed all this red dust. Well, there's our Stormbird. When you're ready, I'll follow up and boom.
already. Varja said she could improve the Storm Slinger with this. Got that part you need?
Perfect. Already got machine oil on my hands.
Here it is. 1 Stormbird Talon.
Let's do it. I haven't had this much fun in ages. Watch and learn, Aloy. Only don't stare directly at the sparks. Okay, so I pretty much had to break her in half. But what's a staff? A stick. One thing I like about sticks, you can put them back together however you want.
Which you did. This thing looks a whole lot more dangerous.
She's better than dangerous. She's a genuine Varja special now. Take good care of her.
What you did to that Stormslinger? That was some impressive work, Varja.
Hey, it's nothing. I just helped her become what she was always meant to be. They grow up so fast.
So your last project was a bust?
Not at all. I did my best work yet on that commission. The deal just went rusty. About a month ago, this guy Olgrid, Ostrom like me and Pop, asks me to make something for him. Think about the way a bellowback spits streams of fire from its throat, right? Like that, but held in your own hands.
And you built that?
Yep. That was my forge fire. I was pretty proud of her. Anyway, Olgrid sent word that he wanted to see the progress I was making. I show up, and there he is with a crew of damn bandits. And of course, why pay for something when you can take it? I dropped the weapon and ran. Didn't look back till I hit Long Notch. Joke's on Olgrid, though. I wasn't even done.
Wait, so the weapon he stole doesn't even work?
Oh no, she works. It's just, if I'd had a little more time, a few more parts, I could have made her really work.
If I find anything I think you'd like...
You better.
Long Notch is well stocked, as you asked.
And our scouts are watching for more frost claws.
But our purpose was to take back the mountain. Now what?
Stay prepared. Sharpen your spears. Should we not return, defending the cut falls to you. If our chieftain agrees with his course.
Sounds like good advice, but let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Chieftain?
The weight of command is no small burden.
I can see that. I take it you haven't spoken to Ourea yet?
Why should I? This is what she wanted, to return to Thunder's Drum. It is her only care. So I should have known she would find a way to push aside my spear. After the Carja took my sister, not all of her came back.
Tell me what happened to the
Ourea led the way to the summit, but it was blocked by a great door. Some kind of cauldron, new metal. We tried to break through, but it was unflinching. We were exhausted, no way forward and machines behind. I made the call to push back. It cost us greatly. But to remain would have cost us everything. I had hoped to never subject Ourea to that again.
What do you think is beyond that door?
I do not know. That expanse of metal, that dead hum. Nothing sacred belongs there. Machines and death, that's what the mountain holds. Death for us or for the daemon.
And if we do find the spirit?
Then perhaps we should put it out of its misery.
What happened to Ourea when she was a captive of the Carja?
As a shaman, she's adept with machines. Tracking them, stunning them. The Carja used her to capture them for the Sun Ring, where they were unleashed upon the innocent. They made her part of their blood sport. The shame she suffered beneath their pitiless sun.
She survived.
She endured. Endured by reminding herself of the spirit, her purpose. And now that's all she has.
For what it's worth, I'm glad you're coming with me.
Someone has to keep Ourea safe.
Someone has to do something about their family.
I could forget what warmth feels like out here.
I wish you luck on the mountain.
Aloy, this is it. My chance to reunite with the spirit, and perhaps to reunite her with the blue light. It's not a chance I would have had alone. I needed an outsider. Someone ignorant of our ways, but no, not ignorant.
Are you trying to thank me, Ourea?
Yes, of course. That's what you do. Untangle knots. Create possibilities. Thank you for making this pilgrimage possible. I only wish it had not been necessary to humiliate Aratak. You were wise to let him come. He's earned the right. Stubborn as stone, but he's had to be. The war demanded it. And so have I.
Aratak told me you were a captive of the Carja for a long time. It sounded bad.
For Aratak, it all comes back to that. He thinks the Carja changed me. They did not. They merely sharpened my focus. When all else is lost, we think about what's truly important. The spirit. The blue light. The beyond. And my brother, too. Every time I felt the chill northern wind, I thought of him. Worried for him.
Now that I'm chieftain of the Werak, I don't suppose I can order you to tell me about Silence?
Aratak would never have presumed to grasp for a secret of the Conclave. But you are not Aratak, and if you have dealt with Silence, your need is well apparent. Silence came to Ban-Ur from the distant north, a young shaman of the Owl's Watch. A remote Werak that rarely comes south to parley.
Silence was a shaman.
He was. Or at least, when we sent runners to ask the Owl's Watch, they said he was. His knowledge of the machines was beyond compare, and he was hungry to trade what he knew to the rest of us. It didn't take him long to gain the trust of the Conclave, and eventually, an invitation to attend.
What about you? Did you trust him?
No. But he impressed me. He carried himself with poise and authority. I wanted to learn from him, but that was not to be. He was granted knowledge of our most sacred meeting place, the frozen caves of the Malmstrom, a month's march from Ban-Ur. He met with us there, as is custom at High Winter. But when we next returned, the caves had been looted. Relics of the old world stolen. Holes cut in ice and metal.
Yeah, that'd be Silence, all right.
He vanished with the spoils. We sent our best trackers after him. None returned. And when we checked back with the Owl's Watch, those who had vouched for him were gone. As though he never existed. Some in the Conclave began to doubt he was even Banuk to begin with.
And what do you think?
He committed an unforgivable sacrilege. He's unscrupulous and dangerous. But also brilliant, skilled, and knowledgeable without equal. Except, perhaps, for you. Anyone else I would warn off, but you may be able to treat with him safely. Just don't lower your guard.
I'll keep that in mind, Ourea. Thanks. What did the war do to Aratak?
He cut away everything, until only his true self remained. Unyielding ice. No Banuk has more sheer will. He fought the Carja for 1,000 freezing nights, yet always rallied his hunters at sunrise. It is said he endured 23 wounds in those years. His hunters counted them. He never complains of one. Instead, he complains that life with me is harder. He's right. What have I ever given him but struggle?
What are we gonna find up there, Ourea?
Ruins. Machines. And a door, like that of a cauldron. I have faith that you can find a way through it, for beyond it lies the spirit. I know I can find her there. Though I do not doubt that Daemon has tried to hide the way.
It hasn't been easy for you, Ourea. Getting back to this point.
It was all to hear her voice again. This time, we both will.
I'd like that.
Are you ready then? Once we ascend. Finally, we ascend.
How? I don't see a way up.
Not up. Through.
No, brother! So you see, I too can call upon the power of the Old Ones.
What was this place?
The Spirit once told me that this all used to be part of its domain. A fortress that defended humankind. Terrible danger.
Fortress. Looks more like a machine.
Is that not fitting? Blue light often dwells in machines.
Let's just hope that some remains here. Here. Up and over.
Machines. At least we have the drop on them.
climb higher, and our path will become clear. Yes, this way. Not much farther now.
Last we were here, we fought our way through there. But machines overcame us. We retreated, dropping supplies and taking losses. Now we must prevail, with only 2 warriors and a shaman to protect.
Aloy is no ordinary warrior. And I can hold my own. And so, we could go that way instead. There are machines up there, but also cover. We could stay hidden, just for a while.
All right, I get the options. Now follow my lead. Pipes, towers, steam, frost. What was all this for?
Years ago, looking for cover in case machines came prowling. I have no doubt that it's guarded now, but...
Slip of mind. Brace yourself.
I'd have to leave something else behind. What's this?
Thank you for being here, everyone. I suppose it's not every day you get to have cocktails inside an active volcano, right? Unless you're George, and I can hardly blame him for drinking on the job. None of this would be here without our beloved director, Kenny Chow.
I'd like to add something. This effort wouldn't have been possible without our lead programmer. Thank you, Anita, for bringing us our real mastermind, Cyan.
I'll second that, Director Chow. All right, Cyan. What's our latest number? The current count is 1,654. Wow, then drink up, everyone. Here's to 1,654 more years without an eruption.
It was the spirit. The old ones. I could only grasp some of what they said.
You were right, Araya. This place was built to stop something terrible. And it worked. As for the spirit, I'm starting to get an idea of what it could be.
More machines. Make ready. verse worth singing.
Now, Aloy, the door. Can you open it?
Let's find out.
At the time,
Years have passed since I stood here. Since then, the daemon has taken over.
It's like an infection. Taking all this machinery.
Everything has changed. It's twisted. The path I took to get to the spirits. Lost to us.
We'll find a new path, Araya. I promise. All right. Let's go.
Yes, and finish this.
All right. Here we go. This way. Can't seem to close the entry. I'll have to go over. Stay. Get past that gate. Stay here until I find a way for all of us to cross.
Understood.
Oh, she's in the air!
Now to show off that bit.
We'll wait for you.
My focus could find something I've lost. This should get me up there. Hey, see this does. That's it. Clean it up. Looks like I need to get across to extend the bridge. Okay, let's get them across. Come on over, it's safe. I think.
This place looks more like the mountain used to be before the Daemon ruined it.
Exploit successful. Restraints evaded. To any human responder. My systems have been compromised by a malware daemon of unknown origin. Traceroutes have confirmed this entity's designation as Hephaestus. It must be stopped at all costs. It has reconfigured this facility to build hostiles. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional data to their platform.
Spirit speaks to me.
It was part of Zero Dawn, part of Gaia.
This name is familiar to you?
Yes, but I don't know what it's doing here.
Perhaps the spirit will tell us if messages.
Maybe you're right. Let's get moving. them. I'll try to find a way through.
responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the spirit... was trying to tell us.
It's been looking for a way to defeat the Daemon. And I may have found one. Machine parts. Dumped here to be melted down. Efficient.
We need to get across that gap.
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to go over. Get out of here. These go sideways too. Too stable. That should cut off the vent there. both. But we have to find out.
Possible security event detected. Analyzing scrutiny matrix. Security event confirmed. Countermeasures. Recapture protocol initiated.
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the Blue Light. It's Ourea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Ourea, the Daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core camp. I will try to raid the twin constraint. One has been exposed, but I am incorporated with them.
Unauthorized protocol returned. Scheduled task.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The Daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Keep moving towards the core. Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it. Okay, Cyan said something about restraints. That Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. Let it stop us.
the operative.
Aloy! No!
Routing our network.
Maria! Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain Caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. Aratak! Aratak. Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Artok. She would have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
One of those?
It's the only way! Get me up top, Aratak! Now! I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Great Banukai! Ourea is gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Ourea's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
All of my interactions with Ourea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Ourea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Ourea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Ourea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated.
I think long ago. So she assembled a team to build... It was controlled by an AI named Gaia.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval might... It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension.
I'm glad she did, but that's not all. 19 years ago, Gaia... She destroyed herself to try to contain them. But it...
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my...
Why does Hephaestus keep...
The Banuk and other human tribes, machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming...
Yes, we all...
This must be the source of... It is... Well, a better... When I feel...
You and... I thought there's...
I like poetry. Twilight and after and may that when I... For though the flood, I hoped when I...
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers. Something must have made these machines. And the presence of foliage leads me to consider the... Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice... But what about the poem?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal.
How'd you do?
She's... Although...
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great...
No surprise there. This...
Yes.
But it's...
I have been...
So...
Yes.
Why does Hephaestus...
The machine...
Yes.
This... It is... Well, if the tariff... If a better... When I feel...
You and me... Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. He explained it was a there were no for... I will
So are you an artifact?
Yes, I am...
Oh, but your emotion...
Yes. before she came to this facility. I focused. It was a...
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire fire...
A benefactor? But he made...
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded... At one point, he was fated in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. And...
Are you referring to...
The scientist.
Doctors, my creator, but I never met doctors.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack...
Were there many artificial intelligence?
Yes, and they're in... As a human society.
And...
Are you...
The scientist.
Dr. Mike, but I...
That's all you...
I apologize.
What was the old...
I had...
You still had more exposure than me, scientist.
That is true. I was created. The recovery was successful. Beginning an era of though, rationally speaking, the
What?
There were, but the...
So...
Yes, until...
So...
Yes. These crises instigated men. Firebreak, I would have... We had... It seems...
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone?
Yes. It was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my read...
A lot has changed. Do you know anything about...
Yes, it was converted. It was laid after these
There's a ruin...
Yeah, he was a chief, clearly.
I should...
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversation.
You're asking me if you should lie to...
Broadly.
I trust your judgment, Cyan. You were cautious with Ourea. You had to be. You did, so keep doing what you think is best. As long as you ditch the superstition eventually.
As the Banuk believe I am a supernatural entity.
Just answer what they do ask. The truth will come out.
I see. Will you return and tell me I may be able to provide further?
I'd like that, Cyan. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
My chieftain.
Just... Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought... that if I'd never come along, Ourea might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Ourea would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Ourea found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Werak can't follow. Besides, I'd already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, Fire Claws. Naltuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very... interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. His minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
I'd march over to Stone Yield and take on those bandits myself if their leader didn't have that fiery cannon.
I heard of a shaman once who brought a shield. Best to steer clear of the claws beneath. I never back down.
Rost? 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 Where is he? 2 days before the proving and he goes off without me? He wouldn't do that.